ASME Materials and Pressure Vessel Design, Phase 1 and Phase 2 explained. Open quote. If you want to design pressure vessels, compressors, or any pressure equipment, the first thing you must master is materials and codes. In this video, we'll break down ASME materials, how to read material specifications, and how they directly affect pressure vessel design. We'll cover Phase 1, Foundations, Materials and Standards, and then move into Phase 2, Core Equipment Design, using ASME Section VIII, Division 1. Don't worry, this will be simple, structured, and practical. Close quote. Phase 1, Foundations, Materials and Standards. Before building any pressure equipment, you must understand the rules that control material selection. The primary authority for pressure vessel materials is ASME Boiler and Pressure Vessel Code Section 2. ASME Section 2, what it covers. ASME Section 2 is divided into 4 important parts. Part A, ferrous materials, carbon steels, low alloy steels, plates, pipes, forgings. Example, SA516 carbon steel plate. Part B, non-ferrous materials, aluminum, copper alloys, nickel alloys. Part C, welding consumables, welding rods, electrodes, filler metals. Part D, material properties, allowable stress, yield strength, tensile strength, temperature-dependent values. Key rule, only materials listed in Section 2 can be used for pressure-containing parts. Understanding the SA designation. You'll often see materials like SA516, SA106, SA387. What does SA mean? SA equal ASME approved material. These are based on ASTM standards but reviewed by ASME, updated every 2 years, adapted for pressure vessel service. Example, ASTM A516, SA516. Only SA-SB materials are allowed in pressure vessels. Anatomy of a material specification. Very important. Every ASME material specification has 3 sections you must always check. Scope, what the material is used for. Thickness limits, service conditions. Example, carbon steel plate for moderate and lower temperature service. Chemical composition, carbon, manganese, silicon, sulfur, phosphorus. Why this matters. Weldability, toughness, crack resistance. Higher carbon equals lower weldability. Mechanical properties, tensile strength, yield strength, elongation. These values form the base for all design calculations. The bridge to design, Section 2, Part D. Selecting a material is not enough. You must now find its maximum allowable stress, S, from Section 2, Part D. Important concepts. Allowable stress depends on temperature. Stress value decreases as temperature increases. Design is based on safety factors. Safety factor logic, Section 8, Div 1. Allowable stress is the lowest of. Tensile strength 3.5, yield strength 1.5 2/3. This ensures safe operation under pressure. Phase 2, Core Equipment Design. ASME Section VIII, Division 1. Now that materials are clear, let's move into pressure vessel construction rules. ASME Section VIII, Division 1 is structured into 3 main subsections. Subsection A, General Requirements, UG, applies to all pressure vessels, design rules, load combinations, inspection basics. Subsection B, Fabrication Methods, UW, welded vessels, UF, forged vessels, UB, brazed vessels. Most industrial vessels fall under UW, welded. Subsection C, Material-Specific Rules, UCS, carbon and low alloy steel, UNF, non-ferrous materials. These add extra rules based on material behavior. Core design philosophy, maximum stress theory. ASME uses maximum stress theory, meaning stress in each direction is checked independently. Design is not only for pressure. As per UG 22, you must consider internal pressure, static head of fluid, vessel weight plus contents, wind load, seismic load, thermal expansion mismatch. A pressure vessel is never designed for pressure alone. Real example, SA516 grade 70. Let's take a commonly used material, SA516 grade 70. Allowable stress versus temperature. 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 23.3 kilopsi, 700 degrees Fahrenheit, 18.1 kilopsi, 900 degrees Fahrenheit, 6.7 kilopsi, 1000 degrees, 2.5 kilopsi. Notice how stress drops sharply at high temperature. Why this happens. Creep region, at high temperatures. Material enters creep range. Strength becomes time-dependent. Failure depends on stress rupture, long-term exposure. That's why temperature limits are critical in design. Summary and transition. Phase 1 taught us how materials are selected and approved. Section 2 defines what you can use. Part D defines how much stress is allowed. Phase 2 showed how vessels are actually designed. What's next? In the next video, we'll go deeper into shell thickness calculations, joint efficiency, corrosion allowance, practical design examples. If this helped you, like, subscribe, comment. Next topic?